Good morning. We looked at the summary of the poem in the last session. The poem is Ice and Fire by Edmund Spenser. Now let us take line-wise explanation of this poem. Lines 1 to 4. My love is like to ice and I to fire. How comes it then that this her cold so great is not dissolved through my so hot desire, but harder grows the more I her entreat. In the first 4 lines or the first quatrain of this piece, the speaker, who is known to be Spenser himself, begins with the statement that would come to represent this poem. Although it is numbered as Amoretti 30, the phrase, my love is like to ice and I to fire, is us to distinguish it from his other works, is used to distinguish it from his other works. In this line, the speaker is saying that his love is comparable to ice. In contrast, he states that he is the same as fire. Before any other details are provided, a reader is able to understand that the two lovers are fundamentally different people. That has not stopped them from coming together though. In the next 3 lines, Spenser poses the first of his questions regarding how the love he shares with his future wife is possible, due to the fact that they are so completely opposite. He continues the analogy he began in the first line. Analogy means comparison, where he is comparing himself to fire and his beloved to ice. The speaker asks how his lover's cold so great is not dissolved through his so hot desire. ये इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में जो वर्ड्स हैं, प्लीज़ ध्यान रखेंगे स्टूडेंट्स, ये शब्द वो हैं जो टेक्स्ट में से यानी कि पोएम में से लिए गए हैं, तो ये बताने के लिए उनको इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में लिखा जाता है. This strange rearrangement of words makes the lines sound more dramatic than they would otherwise. It also forces the phrases to conform to Spenser's chosen pattern of iambic pentameter. The love they share does not dissolve away, the fire melting ice, but instead it grows harder grows, as he says. With greater time spent alongside one another, their love only improves. The speaker is continually baffled by this fact. Baffled meaning amazed, confused. He is failing to understand how that is possible. Although these lines are posed as a question, it is rhetorical. Rhetorical means he does not expect the reader to have an answer. Lines 5 to 8. Oh, how comes it that my exceeding heat is not allayed by her heart-frozen cold, but that I burn much more in boiling sweat, and feel my flames augmented manifold. The next quatrain contains the second question of this text. The speaker's comparison of himself to fire and his lover to ice is continued. Here he turns the previous question around and asks how his own impact on his lover does not destroy their love. The speaker's own heat, meaning strong feelings of love and desire, is not impacted by her heart-frozen cold. It is important to note at this point that the comparison to fire and ice might have more to do with their actual personalities than it initially seemed. This is seen through the woman's heart being referred to as frozen. Perhaps this is how Spencer first saw her. He expected this fact to turn him away. Instead, it made him burn much more. These lines also say something about Spencer's love for his wife. It seems to be uncontainable, as if it is being consistently fanned. The final line brings the section around to the actual questions. He asks how it is possible that her coldness only makes his flames increase in number. They are manifold. Lines 9 to 12. What more miraculous thing may be told that fire, which all things melts, should harden ice, and ice, which is congealed with senseless cold, should kindle fire by wonderful device. In the final 4-line section, the speaker takes note of the importance of his love. He believes that his relationship is so unusual and original that it verges on miraculous. He begins by reiterating, means repeating, the lines he used previously. Spencer wants to make sure that his reader is clear on why he or she should care about their love. He states again that fire, which all things melts, has instead hardened ice. Since then, that ice, which is made of senseless cold, has kindled fire. Kindle means to make it burn. These changes to their natures have improved them as people. Together, they are becoming different. Lines 13-14. Such is the power of love in gentle mind, that it can alter all the course of kind. The final couplet works as all of Spencer's conclusions do. It could serve as an answer to a question or as a carrier of a different opinion. Here, though, the speaker concludes that the answer to all the previously posed questions is that love has the power to change everything. When it exists within a gentle mind, it has the ability to alter. Alter means to change everyone's life. Now let us look at what is Amoretti, Sonnet 30, Edmund Spenser. Sonnet 30 in Edmund Spenser's Amoretti. Amoretti is a collection of poems. These are all love poems which he has written when trying to win over his lady love, that is Elizabeth Boyle, whom ultimately he married. So Spenser's Amoretti picturizes the relationship between the poet and his beloved, Elizabeth Boyle. The poet says in this poem that the emotions he experiences being in love with her are like fire, and the indifference displayed by his beloved to his emotions is as cold as ice. Despite that, they both have been interacting continuously. His deep love has been unable to remove her indifference, and her constant indifference has been unable to diminish, meaning to reduce, her passion by any degree. The poet finds it strange how such opposite aspects have been strengthening rather than weakening one another. He has used fire and ice as symbols to suggest that their respective emotions are as opposites as these two are. But love has such unique tendency that the fire and the ice are intensifying each other's effect being in touch with one another. Taken from Edmund Spenser's 1590s sonnet sequence Amoretti, this poem opens with a paradox, meaning there is a contradiction, जिसको हम हिंदी में विरोधाभास कहते हैं. विपरीत बातें हो रही हैं यहाँ पर. How come the poet's fiery desire for his ice-cold beloved does not thaw her coldness? Thaw means to melt, piglana, but actually makes her even icier and more standoffish. Icier means ज़्यादा ठंडा. Standoffish मतलब अकड़ा हुआ, जब वो रिजेक्ट करी है अपने लवर को. Similarly, how come her coldness does not cool his fire? There are some unique features of the sonnet. It is autobiographical, presents a paradox, uses a metaphor based on an experience belonging to human experiences, and uses this metaphor to present some particular features of the feeling of love. The sonnet has an autobiographical undertone. The lover and beloved in the sonnet are respectively Spenser and Elizabeth Boyle. The response given by the latter to the former's efforts, latter यानी कि जिसका जिक्र बाद में हुआ है, meaning Elizabeth Boyle, and former यानी कि जिसका जिक्र पहले हुआ है यहाँ पर Spenser. So the response given by the latter to the former's efforts to woo her gets represented in the feelings of the beloved mentioned in the sonnet. The way the beloved has been mentioned to ignore all the efforts made by the lover, and the manner in which the indifference of the beloved leads the lover to show even more intensely in quoting her in the sonnet, is similar to the case of Spenser and Elizabeth Boyle. The sonnet has also presented a paradox by suggesting that in case the poet deals with fire and ice strengthen one another rather than acting against each other. In simple terms, the poet has compared the passion of love that his heart holds to fire, and the tenacity displayed by his beloved to the coldness of ice. He is suggesting that the two should affect one another, being extremes of the same concept, but amazingly, neither is getting affected negatively. The depth of his love should be able to convince his beloved to entertain his amorous approach. But it has not happened despite his desperate and continuous efforts. On the other hand, the incessant exhibition of indifference on the part of his beloved should have affected his passion negatively and should have reduced the extent of love he feels for her. Incessant means continuous. However, her unresponsiveness has rather added to the intensity of his feelings. So, the poet presents his confusion on how both the concerned persons are behaving in an unexpected manner. The sonnet, when considered in detail, presents an analysis of the concept of love. It suggests that love acts in a strange manner. The indifference of the beloved enhances the vigor of the lover rather than forcing it to diminish. Vigor means energy, and diminish means to reduce. The coldness of the beloved's response to gets strengthened by consistent efforts on the part of the lover to court her. Means to follow her, to make her fall in love with him. It is not necessary for her to react in the usual manner to to the efforts of persuasion. So, love is so strong that it could influence human mind to act against what is considered natural. The poet states that he is unable to understand how such strange interrelationship is possible. Moreover, despite the feeling that his actions are somewhat strange, he has been unable in controlling his feelings. The main idea of this sonnet may be approached from the perspective of the metaphor, meaning comparison, and from the perspective of the interpretation of the metaphor. Firstly, the metaphor compares the beloved's, meaning Elizabeth Boyle's, unloving heart to ice, and the poetic speaker's, that is Spenser himself, loving heart to fire. Elizabeth continually rejected Spenser as he was much older than she and a widower. The main idea of the metaphor is a double one. The first part is that it is a wonder how ice, which is turned to water by fire, can be made more hardened and ice by the presence of love's fire. The second part is that fire, which is quenched, meaning put out, by melted ice or water, can be made to blaze, meaning burn more brightly and hotly by an icy, unloving heart. The main idea that emerges after interpreting the metaphor is that Spenser wonders aloud in the sonnet how it can be possible that his burning love for Elizabeth does not warm her heart and cause her to love him, while at the same time wondering how it is possible that her cold, unyielding heart does not completely dampen his love for her, but instead makes his love grow deeper and stronger. It is a paradox, it is a contradiction. विरोध है यहाँ पे. Love should kindle love, but it doesn't. An unloving heart should quench love, meaning burn it out, बुझा देना, but it doesn't. The summary is easier to see now. Spenser is complaining in this sonnet. His complaint is that the object of his love, who does not love him back, does not warm up to him as he entreats her to accept his love, but instead gets more and more unloving and unyielding, like ice and fire in a paradoxical verse. He continues to complain that his love for her is not cooled off by her rejection, but instead grows deeper, stronger, and hotter. This continues the ice and fire paradox. Then he complains that his reaction and hers are contrary to nature. Love offered should kindle love returned, or love rejected should foster love abundant, not the reverse. In other words, अगर कोई आपको प्यार या स्नेह दिखाता है आपके लिए, तो आपके मन में भी स्नेह बढ़ना चाहिए. ऑन दी अदर हैंड, दूसरी तरफ अगर किसी का लव रिजेक्ट होता है तो उससे सामने वाले का लव भी कम हो जाना चाहिए. यहाँ उल्टा हो रहा है. He resolves the paradox by claiming that is the power of love. It simply can alter the laws of nature. To quote the last two lines of the poem, such is the power of love in gentle mind, that it can alter all course of kind. As for the content of the poem, we can say that it is about two lovers and what they feel when they are in love. Reading this sonnet, we know that the person who is narrating is someone who loves a woman. We know as well that it takes place in an imaginary place, that is in the lover's mind. Besides this, what happens when someone is in love is described, and he compares it and contrasts it to fire and ice. This makes you understand that real love can change the logical order of things, because fire does not make ice melt and ice doesn't calm the fire. This is the opposite. In the case of language and style, the poet uses some words to bring the subject to life. These words are hot, cold, freeze, heart frozen, etc. When you are reading the poem, the images that are brought to mind are ice and fire, the passion between two lovers and the contrast of these elements. These symbols and elements are fire and ice. The fire represents the passion, and the ice represents the distance between the two lovers. Regarding the rhetoric devices, an example of assonance that we can identify in the poem is the first verse, which reads, "My love is like to ice and I to fire." The vocabulary of the poem is really expressive and rich, because it is full of adjectives that describes the themes that appear in the poem. About the poet and the way of explaining that he has, he talks in a very original way about the subject, and at the same time the continuing development of the subject helps you understand everything clearly. With this we end the poem Ice and Fire by Edmund Spenser. Students, I would like to tell you that मैं आपके साथ इन नोट्स को शेयर करूँगी. इस वीडियो में जो आपको दिख रहा है वो तो आप पढ़ ही सकते हैं. इसकी PDF फाइल भी मैं शेयर करूँगी. आप उसकी प्रिंट आउट्स निकाल लें, जिससे कि पढ़ना आपके लिए आसान हो जाएगा. थैंक यू.